Welcome everybody to the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, the Minister Jonathan Simmons, and we thank God for those of you who have decided to join us here in our virtual studios here. We thank God for you, and especially those of you who are watching on the replay, on the archive, on YouTube, on Periscope, and also on Roku TV on the Phoenix Entertainment Group channel, and those of you watching us live on Facebook, on YouTube Live, and on Roku also on the Phoenix Entertainment Group channel, and on the C Room Sports and News Network. So again, we thank God for each and every one of you who have popped in to join us. As you can see there's our information. I'm your host, Jonathan Simmons. That you can follow the show on social media at Real Talk Sports 7. You can follow me personally at Minister J Sim, and you can hit us up on the web at www.realtalksports.net. So again, we are very, very thankful for you, and we're going to get right to the broadcast here. Normally, we like to bring the queen in first. We always believe ladies first, but she's running a little bit behind schedule. So we have a gentleman that's going to jump right in the fray. He is not one, but a two-time Super Bowl champion. I'm talking about the one and only Tyrone Poole is in the building. Sir, how are you?
Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello. Hello, all those who are watching and listening. Welcome to Real Talk. Real Talk. You get it straight from the hip here, baby. Straight from the hip.
Praise the Lord. Straight from the hip is right. And in case you don't know who he is, there he's right there, Tyrone Poole. And remember, you can follow him anywhere on social media at Tyrone Poole, the number 38. Well, brother, always when we come to a weekend, we got plenty of sports that happen over the weekend. Football is in full swing. First week in the NFL, and we'll talk about that later in the broadcast. Also, a lot going on in college football as well, as teams are kind of getting ramped up and getting to it into game in week number 2. And also, Braves are doing some great stuff as well. Matter of fact, folks, let's take a look at our topics for this week. Hold on, please, for those of you who are watching. Bam! There's our topics. First segment, we're going to talk a little bit about the Braves. They're a big surge here, making that move to try to retain first place and head to the playoffs. And we'll have the lovely Miss Tree Dolman jumping with us later on to talk to you about the WNBA and the Dream. Segment number 2, you know what it is. Second Tuesday of every month is Jonesboro Football Tuesday. Jonesboro High School will be joining us to talk about their upcoming game, big game, Clayton County versus APS with Banneker. Then we'll do some HBCU football. We'll be pulling down some stuff from HBCUsports.com, their top 20 teams. Segment 4, Georgia Tech UGA updates, a little bit of college football. Segment 5, we got to do a little NFL, NFC South. And the final segment, we saved the best for last. We're going to do some Falcons football. And ooh. ooh. Yeah, we got to save that for the last but not least. Ooh. Well, Ty, let's get right to it. How about the Braves? 2 weeks ago, they were teetering on the brink of maybe falling out of first place. Now they have a stranglehold or pretty good hold on first place, 4.5 games up, and they're playing right now as we speak.
Yeah, the Braves, basically, they're playing right now as we speak. And again, the Phillies are nipping at their heel. But the Braves actually, if they can take these three games from the Rockies, which the Rockies, they're 5-5 in their last 10 games. So it's not going to be an easy game. But the reason why I say that is because they have the Giants coming up after those Rockies. And the Giants are 9-1. 9-1 in their last 10 games. So if the Braves want to increase that lead over the Phillies, then they need to win these 3 games, go 3-0 against the Rockies, and then try to at least get one of these 2 games from the Giants, because the Phillies, they play the Cubs. Now the Cubs, they're not where they probably want to be, but they are 6-4 in their last 10 games. So it's not going to be an easy game for the Phillies. So we're hoping as Braves fans that the Cubs can take 2 out of the 3 from the Phillies, and the Braves can win 3 out of 3 with the actual Rockies, and, possibly pull a game out of the Giants series and increase that lead they have right now.
We know how it works, man. It's really like you said. It's about these 10-game swings. 2 weeks ago, Braves were kind of floundering, and we look, as you just mentioned, at these standings, and that's been the key. Braves have been a respectable 6-4 in their last 10 games. Meanwhile, the guys that are chasing them, not so much. It's been a tough road for the Phillies. They went 3-7 in their last 10. Mets 4-6 in their last 10s. And that's why the Braves find themselves with a 4.5 game lead over the Phillies and 5.5 games over the New York Mets. And they really pretty much have to win the East because the wild card seems to be all the Western teams. The Giants, as you mentioned, already 94 wins. The Dodgers right behind them with 92, and the Padres at 74-69. Again, it's going to be very, very tough. And the Reds are 75-69. All of them have records that are better than the Braves. The Braves will basically be the third or fourth team in that pecking order. So, man, they got to take this down, man, and win the Eastern Division, no doubt.
You know, what's really helping the Braves is I'm looking at them and studying them. When it comes to home runs, you know, home runs is putting runs on the board. You know, the difference between a single and a home run is a single, you touch one base, a home run, you touch them all. So the Braves, believe it or not, they are sitting third in Major League Baseball. This is all 30 teams in Major League Baseball. They are sitting third with 214 home runs. The number one team out of all Major League Baseball, just give people a little bit of reference, the Toronto Blue Jays, they have 232. So the Braves have 214. Now, the other thing that's helping the Braves, they don't commit a lot of errors on defense. Okay, they are the fifth best team out of 30 teams. So again, as we say in sports, as a professional athlete, don't beat yourself. Okay, so the Braves are not beating themselves by committing errors. So that is keeping them hot. And then the last thing is just fielding. You know, they're doing a good job. So I believe pitching and hitting and fielding can actually give you an opportunity to win in baseball. So right now the Braves are doing pretty good. Overall, Jonathan, and all those listening and watching, the team baseball average, hitting average, they're like 12th out of 30 teams now, and they're 242 as a team average.
Well, the big thing, man, is you looked at lineup and you talked about it's the big bats. The key is you got a couple of guys that could be considered in the MVP race. Number one, the little guy getting it done at second base. Albies, 28 home runs, 94 runs batted in. He leads the leads the Braves in RBIs. Freddie Freeman leads them in homers. He got 30, 77 runs batted in. He just celebrated a birthday the other day. So, Freddie, happy birthday to you. And the guy that has done what they thought he was going to do, the two guys that were their hometown products, I should say homegrown products. Hometown guy, Dansby Swanson, played right in Cobb County. He's now giving you everything we thought he could. 26 homers, 89 runs batted in. And Austin Riley, also 29 homers, 89 runs batted in as well. So the Braves are definitely a team about the big bats. Well, we're going to make the transition here because I believe that one of the most beautiful women in the world of sports talk radio and television has now entered the green room. We shall bring her in. Welcome, everyone, to Miss Tree Dolman. The Queen is in the building.
Hello.
Hey.
Oh, we are so happy to see you.
Happy to see you guys. How you guys doing?
Praise the Lord, doing great. We're just talking about the Braves and their surge to first place and how they might be a team that's going to have us all feeling kind of happy come the fall when they get in the postseason play.
Yeah.
Well, now, speaking of happy, it's been happy all year in women's basketball. Tree, tell us a little bit about the WNBA celebrating year number 25.
Well, the WNBA is in their 25th season, and the Atlanta Dream, they're actually not going to make the playoffs. I'm sure a lot of people knew that, so they have no chance. They have 3 more games to play this season. They're just playing out the season. 1 game they're playing right now tonight, and then they have another home game on Thursday against Phoenix. It's against the LA Sparks, and then their final game is on the 19th against Connecticut Sun. So they're really just playing tonight, 2 more games, and then their season is over. And then just looking forward to getting next season taken care of. As far as the WNBA playoffs, there are 7 spots that are already clinched. There's still 3 teams that are fighting for that number 8 spot, the LA Sparks, the Washington Mystics, and the New York Liberty. So those 3 teams right now are like fighting head to head to see who's going to make that 8th spot into the playoffs. And then we'll have playoff basketball coming up in a couple of weeks. But like I said, unfortunately, the Atlanta Dream will not be there.
Well, I mean, it's been kind of bumpy for the Dream. They had that magnificent run for about 4 or 5 years. It seemed like every year they were in the playoffs, and twice I believe they went to the WNBA Finals. And they had an epic battle just a couple of years ago against the Washington Mystics, who later went on to win the NBA title, as the Deladone took them down in Game 5 here in Atlanta. I was there at that game. That was actually one of the best women's basketball games I have seen. Really up and down action, went right down to the wire, but Washington pulled it out and ended up winning the WNBA title later on that year. So, but yeah, man, great stuff going on with the WNBA. I know you as a female baller are excited that they've reached year number 25 and great stuff still ahead.
Definitely. I'm so excited. I remember when the WNBA started. So to see them going through year 25 and just the different things that they're doing for women's basketball, I think it's really phenomenal. And I'm looking to see where the league will continue to grow and get better. And I'm really excited about it and just want to see it keep evolving.
Yeah. So Tyron, I know, it's athletics is athletics. I know you like to see everybody performing well, and certainly it's good to see the women, taking center stage and moving into postseason play.
Well, definitely. And for the Atlanta Dream, it's interesting to see how they're going to play tonight. Actually, they're playing the Indiana Fever. And the last time these two teams played was July the 11th. And the Fever came away with the win, 79-68. So hopefully with the 7-22 record that the Dream have, even though they're not going to make the postseason, hopefully, as we will all say as athletes, let's finish the season strong. Let's finish the season strong so we can go into the 2022 season with a little bit of momentum. And of course, they're going to have an opportunity to get a good draft selection, and they can hopefully bring somebody else in, some key players, free agency, college basketball, to help the franchise get a little bit better. So tonight, it's all about, let's see how we can finish strong as a team.
Yeah, they've been in last place all pretty much most of the season, but then they won last week in Dallas, and that's why they moved up to the number 11 spot. So again, they're playing the Fever, and Fever's in the 12th position. So again, that can also go up and down as well. But yeah, I agree. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we want to see them close out strong. I was hoping to possibly get down and catch the Sparks game, kind of bringing things up full circle. Some people may or may not know, but a young lady that was Metro Atlanta Player of the Year about 6 or 7 years ago, I had a chance to interview her. She is now playing with the Sparks, Miss Tia Cooper. And interestingly enough, her brother was a second round pick of our Atlanta Hawks right here, Sharif Cooper. So pretty cool to have a brother and sister both playing professional ball. How cool is that?
As they say, it runs in the family. It's in the blood. It must be in the water. Isn't that what they say? When it's a whole town, they say it must be in the water. When it's a family, they say it must be in the blood. So either way, it's a liquid thing.
Amen. Only thing I can say is hashtag DNA, because it doesn't get too much better than that. And speaking of that, we also want to give a big shout out to another young lady who's playing in the WNBA as well, who won the Naismith High School Basketball Player of the Year, also here from the Atlanta area, Miss Diamond DeShields. And her brother also plays in Major League Baseball. So again, there's some powerful DNA here in Atlanta. Well, speaking of powerful, we got a powerful guest coming up next. But in order to find out who that is, you got to keep it locked right here to the Real Talk Sports Show, because we'll be right back. Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Well, check out Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We have one of the largest inventories in our area for both new and pre-owned vehicles, so we're sure to have something for everyone. Family owned and operated since 1982, customer satisfaction is our number one priority. Come see our full lineup of vehicles and find the one that best fits you. Give us a call today, 678-726-5739, or shop us 24/7 online at allenvigilford.net. The day has arrived. It's time to let more people know about your business. You have the right marketing plan and the messaging in place. But do you have the right messenger? Good advertising and promotions need a professional sound so the message can be clearly understood. Don't leave your brand image to chance. Let our team of voiceover experts at CME lend you a hand. Give us a call at 678-304-8121 to find out how we can partner with you to give your business its voice. All right, we're back here on the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, Mr. Jonathan Simmons. Right next to me, Tyrone Poole, two-time Super Bowl champion. And right beneath us there, the queen herself, Miss Tree Bowman in the building. Before we bring in our guest from the Jonesboro Cardinals, we want to just give a big shout-out and reminder to folks that basketball is right around the corner. The Hawks have announced their schedule. It does appear that the NBA is liking them with not one, not three, but a total of 9 national TV games, including a big game going down to the Garden to play the Knickerbockers in New York. But they started off with a bang. They host the Dallas Mavericks. So once again, it's going to be Luka Doncic and Trae Young to kick off the NBA season here with the Hawks. I don't know about y'all, but I'm feeling some kind of way excited about that.
Well, when you're winning, you get television exposure. That just point blank. That's how it is. And the Hawks need to take advantage of this opportunity to be seen nationally. If we're crying about no respect here in Atlanta, well, here's your opportunity. The NBA is saying we're going to give you national exposure. Now here's your opportunity to show the world that you guys are not just something with a fad. We are here to stay. So let's go Hawks. Let's make it happen.
That's right. I'm looking forward to it. And like I said, first game of the season is right around the corner. And preseason starts, I believe it's October the 7th. So look forward to our coverage again of the Hawks. We might have to do it from afar. I'll talk about that next week. But it does appear that COVID protocols might keep Johnny away from the stadium. But we'll talk about that in Hot Topics maybe next week. All right, guys, as you know, each and every second Tuesday of the month, we like to spotlight one of our favorite high school football teams, and this week is no different. We have the head coach from the Jonesboro High School football team with us here. Timothy Floyd is back in the building. Coach, how are you?
I'm good. How are you all?
We're doing good, sir. Doing good. So coming off you guys have been winning, and you have once again a big matchup against those boys up the road from APS. Banneker coming to town. What's kind of the outlook on that game coming up?
I think it's going to be a tough physical game. They're very athletic. They're going to get after you on defense, and we like to think we're going to get after people on defense. So I think it's going to be a tough physical game. And it's be a pretty exciting game also.
Yeah, I think everybody's kind of looking forward to it. Now, last year you guys had a real close one against them, didn't you?
Yes, it ended up 7-6. We ended up driving down the last minute or so to take the lead, and they got the ball and started driving, but we were able to stop the drive towards the last few seconds of the game.
Yeah, you guys had a couple of heart stoppers there against the boys up the road there. We traveled up to East Point, and you guys had a thriller come from behind. You guys were 10 points down, I believe, with about maybe 2 or 3 minutes to go, and on the next last play of the game, pulled off a touchdown to win. I couldn't actually live stream that because I was asked to leave the stadium by Tri-Cities. They kind of moved me out. I guess they weren't too happy. A Clayton guy was in there streaming. But anyway, yeah, so you guys have really played some great games against teams from in the Atlanta area.
Yeah, it's been some good games. It's an exciting region. I think it's a tough region, a pretty even region, across the board. And we have a couple of front runners, but it's a pretty even region across the board. And, we're looking forward to an exciting season this year also.
Well, I'm sure my panel has some questions for you as well. Tyrone, any questions you have for the coach?
Coach, how you doing? And congratulations on you guys entering another season. I know the seniors, they're happy, but at the same time they're sad because this is going to be the last time they put on the Jonesboro uniform. And for those freshmen, they're excited because it's like nothing like being in high school, and they got at least 3 more years to wear that uniform. My question is your defense from points given up. And we're looking at Banneker, and their offense is basically right now in 2 games, they scored like 85 points. What is your plan of action going in to this game to slow down their offense?
First, we got to make sure that we stop the run. We want to better stop the run so they take away some balance that they have, and we gotta pressure the quarterback, get pressure on the quarterback. He's athletic. They got some athletic receivers out there, and they got some kids that can run, and we're just gonna have to, play our game, get some pressure, stop the run, and don't get beat deep.
Yeah, that's an old Swan song right there, boy. Defensive backs, don't get beat deep. Keep it in front of you. My last question. Your offense, I'm going to spin the table, spin the record, kind of do a little scratching here. We're going to go back and forth with it. Your offense, you guys not putting up too many points. So is there anything you're going to do differently, maybe to open up that offense of Jonesboro?
We're gonna keep, chopping at what we're trying to do. We had a pretty good first game. Second game wasn't so well, and we're starting to get all the pieces, kind of intact with the offensive line. Each week is getting better actually, even though the points might not show it, but they're actually getting better. The film room is a much nicer place, I could say. But we're gonna just keep doing the things that we're trying to do, and just keep trying to come together as an offensive unit.
That's good. Well, good luck, Coach, against Banneker, and hope next time you come back on the show, you guys are sitting 2-1. Well, no, there'll be more games than that, but good luck this week here against Banneker. We'll put it to you like that.
Thank you.
And so now I think Tyrone hit it pretty much on the head in terms of looking at the attack. People just would like to know, kind of watching, who are some of your featured players that people want to look out for when they're watching Jonesboro, especially on the offense?
I'll start with quarterback Chad Gardner. He's a dual threat quarterback, and we have Marcus Dunn as a tight end slot receiver kid. I think we get those two going, and things kind of open up for all the rest of the kids, all the rest of the players that we're pretty excited about. And I mentioned a few running back, Caden Bryant, a couple of others. We kind of got a run backfield by committee at the moment, waiting on one of those guys to just step up and take it. And on the outside, we got some young receivers mixed in with some older receivers, such as Devon Rainey, Malcolm Simmons, Cal Hernandez, Michael Glover. But like I said, Chad Gardner and Marcus Dunn, we expected big things out of those two guys.
Those are your veteran leaders, and they have shown they've been able to play in the big games, especially Chad. He's been kind of engineer some of your late drives in some of these games, and he kind of gives you a dual threat. He's very, very dangerous, it seems, when he gets flushed out of the pocket because he's able to pick up some key yards. I saw him in your last victory, pick up some crucial third downs with those legs. So I'm telling everybody right now, watch out for Chad Garner, and also check out the big tight end who plays a little linebacker too, Marcus Dunn as well.
Matter of fact, speaking of the Tri-Cities last year, that last drive, Chad scrambled around, made some plays, and he actually hit Marcus for the winning touchdown. So,
yep.
We just got to get those two connected and, get things going again.
Well, we look forward to seeing a dynamic duo, man.
Very little linebacker now.
Yeah, you like, because all production on offense, you want to wear him out, Coach?
Yeah. Blocking, all types of stuff, running routes. So he's going to be pretty tight, and special teams.
We look forward to it and seeing the game again. For those of you who don't know, we do the live stream telecast of the games that are located at Tara Stadium, which is the home stadium from Jonesboro High School. It's also home stadium for Forest Park, for Mount Zion, their arch rival, and for the Morrow Mustangs as well. So look forward to all of those teams, and look forward to us live streaming. You can go to our website, www.realtalksports.net, and you can click on and watch the game live. And oh, by the way, we don't charge you. I just want to make that clear. There's some streaming places that charge you. We do not. So you guys can enjoy the game at no charge. Now, Coach, did you have one of your players joining us tonight?
Yes, sir. Cameron Leonard. They call him Uno.
There he is. Cam's in the building. What's going on, Mr. Cam?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Well, Trey, I know you always have some questions for the student athletes. So, Mr. Cam, I think that the Queen might want to ask you something.
Hello, Cam. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing all right. Thank you for asking. So I want to know, how has school been going and the season with everything that's been going on with the COVID protocols? Do you feel that this football season is getting back on track? And then my second question is, out of all of the football players in the world, either college or NFL players when they were younger, who do you think your game kind of mimics?
School have been going good. It's been going real good for me. I'm trying to get my teammates up, so keep them up their grades to help them out as much as possible. And like you said about COVID and the season, I don't think it's ever gonna go back to normal about like people having COVID. I don't think it's ever gonna go back normal. But I think it will be good, better than last year. And most games got canceled last year. And then one of my role model players that I admire my game after is Ray Lewis.
Okay. I love it.
And Cam, what position do you play?
Mike linebacker.
Mike. That's the guy gets that head in there. When we go to social media here, I think we might have some comments here. And, we want to give a big shout out from Miss Joyce Zachary, who says, hey, Cameron. That's your grandma, sir? Because everybody calls her Grandma Nana. Is that your grandmother, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Man, now listen, there's nothing better than Nana's love. I can take that because she cooked too, brother.
Yes, sir.
That's I don't care where you go. Let's get grandmother out here one more time. She says, okay, Auntie Shanti loves you too. So man, everybody, you getting a lot of love here tonight, young man. We'll get that big shot for you so everybody can see right there. Give him that big smile. There we go. Yes, sir. Well, listen, man, what kind of you looking forward to going into this game against Banneker? You know, they have a very, very good team. You guys always seem to battle very, very well against the Atlanta teams. What are kind of some of the things that you're going to look to stop as a Mike linebacker? What have you seen so far on film?
Outside zone, inside zone, ISO. I feel like no team can run on us. So that's one of the biggest goals for our defense. A lot of less and rushing yards as possible. So we stopping all the ISOs, the outside zone, inside zone.
So you're focused on basically stopping that run. That's going to be your thing.
Yes, sir.
Well, Coach, it looks like you guys, as always, are ready to go. And like you said, we look forward to live streaming the game and being a part of the broadcast. Again, we tell people, log on. It is free. The link will be posted on Twitter so that you guys can see it. You have the option to watch it right there from Twitter because we're on Twitter TV, or you can flip on the YouTube. Please shout out your favorite player because we will put your comments on the screen. We do something a little different than Fox 5 or Georgia Public Broadcasting. We bring you in as part of the live stream. So, again, if you have your favorite player, favorite team, give them a shout out. And who knows, you might be on the air on the live broadcast. All right, Coach, now I know in years past, or in times past, you had a little problem with the social media, so I'm going to help you out. Bam!
There we go.
There it is. Right there. There you go. Jonesboro High School football. Follow them on Instagram at JHS Cardinal Football. Follow them on Twitter at JHS Cardinal FB. So I laid it out for you, Coach.
I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Well, listen, man, again, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us again. I know that a lot of people may not know, but you guys actually come right from practice and, before you do the locker room, be on the show. Is that right?
Yes, sir. It's Tuesday is our work day, so we pretty almost just off the field not too long ago.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, listen, man, we appreciate you. Again, guys, you can follow them on social media, Instagram at JHS Cardinal Football, on Twitter at JHS Cardinal FB. Everybody, want to give the big shout out to the coach and to Cam Lell. Do your thing on Friday, gentlemen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, guys, keep it locked right here, the Real Talk Sports Show. We're still talking football. We got some great stuff coming on. Before we go, one more comment from social media. We got Larry Zachary saying, good job, Kama Papa. Well, that's love right there. All right, guys, keep it locked right here for more of the Real Talk Sports Show. We'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. Please. Thank you.
Did you know that Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, Georgia also has Lincoln? Over 35 years of using the Vigil Touch to provide excellent customer service, works hand in hand with the Lincoln Motor Company to provide a luxurious and seamless way to acquire your next luxury vehicle. Lincoln has an array of full-service complimentary owner benefits. These benefits include hospitality partnerships, service pickup and delivery, all which can be accessed through the Lincoln Way app. You can even contact the 24/7 concierge to have someone assist you. Come and see our great inventory of new and pre-owned Lincolns today. Call 678-364-7345 to make an appointment with one of our brand champions or shop 24/7 online at allenvigillincoln.net.
This is OJ Howard with Real Talk Sports.
What's up, guys? This is Tim Tebow. You're listening to Real Talk Sports.
This is Charles Woodson. Let me grab the mic. You ready? This is Charles Woodson with Real Talk Sports. Hey, it's your boy JB Smooth with Real Talk Sports.
Ha. My man JB Smooth, appreciate him for giving us the big love and the shout outs there. And also appreciate the Hall of Famer, Charles Woodson, for just basically give me the mic. The kid that shouted in for the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, Mr. Jonathan Simmons. Right around the panel, we have Tyrone Poole, two-time Super Bowl champion and a 14-year NFL veteran, and the queen herself, reigning Ms. America International for 2020. The lovely queen, Miss Tree Dolman, also in the building as well. All right, guys. Like I said, always good to have the young guys come on and talk some high school football. A lot of stuff going on here in Georgia. We got some great teams here. Matter of fact, there's a team that we saw in the Corky Kell Classic, Collins Hill, that is moved into the top 10 in the nation. So a lot of great high school football being played right here in the state of Georgia. Good stuff going on. All right, college football. Let's talk first a little bit of what we saw here with our, I guess you want to call them hometown teams. Georgia Tech taking on Kennesaw State. Tyrone, to me, that seemed like, I hate to put it this way, but almost like a must-win for Georgia Tech.
Yeah, it seems like almost every game is a must-win for Georgia Tech. Kennesaw State, they have a good program that they are building there, and they're going to play Georgia Tech tough. And I don't expect Georgia Tech to come in and lay down. I expect Georgia Tech to actually try to get a little bit of momentum going. And I expect the coach to put a little fire up under the players and, get them out there and let them represent that GT. Not only is Georgia Tech a technology school, and we know that, very high on academics, but come on now, they are student athletes. So they have student athletes that attend Georgia Tech as well. But again, Kennesaw, they have proven themselves and they are doing a great job. And I expect to see a very good game this weekend.
Well, I tell you, it is. It actually, to just kind of update you, actually was a game they played last weekend. I kind of mixed up the schedule myself, but I actually did play the game. I did catch a few glimpses of it, of the highlights of it, and Georgia Tech did exactly what you said that they were going to do. They laid the wood to them, putting up. I think the final score was 45-17. Georgia Tech over Kennesaw State. One of the things that you saw is what you talked about, Tyrone, is that Kennesaw State, running a wishbone type offense, especially early in the game, was actually able to move the ball very well. But the hazards with a wishbone offense is that the ball has to be moving around in close quarters from hand to hand. And to Georgia Tech's credit, from kind of knowing that system with the old coach, they got about 4 turnovers in the game. One of them was kind of a fumble/interception for a pick six. And that's what really kind of allowed them to put the game away. So Georgia Tech, in a game that I felt they had to win, after losing Northern Illinois in their first game of the season, did pull off a win against Kennesaw State and former Georgia Tech assistant Brian Bohannon, who is now the head coach of Kennesaw. It also puts them in a little bit of a conundrum. Their backup quarterback played an outstanding game, and that kind of was the theme, even as we moved the road to Athens, as Georgia did what they had to do as well. Tree, I know that you kind of were running around. Did you catch or hear anything about that Georgia game and how bad they beat UAB?
No, I did not.
Tyrone?
Well, all I can say about the UAB and Georgia game, as you called out, even with Georgia Tech, it seems like the NCAA, what they're doing is they've heard people say with the opening game of the season need to be a little bit more tougher. I think that's why you kind of saw a few teams playing some tough games. Georgia and Clemson. I think that just added to the excitement of college football coming back. But you see also what the NCAA did. They said, okay, we now are going to allow you guys to recover from that first week, and we're going to give you a setup game. So, whether it's Georgia and UAB or Georgia Tech and Kennesaw, those games in my mind are like lick your wounds, get in the ice tub, get the soreness out from week 1, heal, and let's come back in week 3 and continue to play. But, Georgia, they still are looking pretty good, but the schedule does get a little bit tougher. They always got their rivalry with Florida, and eventually they're going to meet Alabama in the championship game.
No doubt, Georgia looked like the kind of team we kind of expected. Now, we grant you that UAB cannot be compared with Clemson, but Georgia did what you're supposed to do. They went in there and basically beat the brakes off them. Unbelievable performance by their backup, Stetson Bennett, a guy who at one point gotten booed by UGA fans. Well, he gave them nothing to boo about. He hit 5 of his first 5. And his total stat line for the day was 10 of 12, 288 yards, and 5 touchdowns. And almost all those touchdowns came in the very first half and maybe part of the third quarter. So big game by Stetson Bennett. And now it's going to create the conundrum. JT Daniels, again, against a much tougher Clemson squad, was so-so. So now the question is, do you keep a Stetson Bennett who was able to air it out, get the deep ball going that we've been looking for all year long from Georgia? Let's look at some of the receivers. Brock Bowers, 3 catches for 107 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jermaine Burton, 3 catches, 92 yards. And Arian Smith, 1 catch for 61. Adonai Mitchell, 2 catches for 21. And Ladd McConkey, 1 catch for 32 yards. Tyrone, I don't know about you, but that looks like a lot of yards per catch, bro.
There's a lot of yards per catch, no doubt about it. So, but that's what you're supposed to do. You make plays. That's what they say. Catch the ones as a defensive back. They say catch the balls that come to you. You get interceptions. Receivers, catch the balls that come to you. You get yards. So you're supposed to do what you're supposed to do. That's why you got a scholarship.
What'd you say?
I said that's why they have those scholarships. That's why they have the scholarship. They're supposed to do what they're supposed to do.
Well, no doubt that looked more like a Georgia team that we are accustomed to seeing. And again, it's going to set up a little bit of a conundrum. JT Daniels coming back, and after Stetson Bennett put up those types of numbers, albeit against a far inferior defensive team at UAB versus Clemson, is still going to make people wonder, should we give this guy a chance, full game with this team against some superior competition? Because he did seem to be able to get the ball downfield. Now, some of that is play calling. I'm not stupid, but at the end of the day, they did look a lot smoother, a lot smoother. And the same thing with Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech with Jordan Yates. Yates 17 of 23, 254, 4 touchdowns. Again, they're playing against Kennesaw State. But Kennesaw State is a top 15 team in the football championship subdivision. So it's not like they were playing against, a poor team. Kennesaw State had come into the game with a decent defense. So there's a question. Are we going to put Yates, the backup, in, and Stetson Bennett? You guys answer the question if you like. Hit us up right there on social media. Should this backups come in for Georgia Tech and University of Georgia, let us know, and we'll pop you into the screen. Well, there's a lot of stuff going on all throughout college football. You're still going to be a couple of weeks away before they go to the top 25 polls. Alabama and all the big guys did what they had to do. So, again, we're looking forward to, seeing what's happening through the rest of the season. Let's shift gears a little bit. Let's talk a little HBCU football. Tyrone, I know that's close to your heart. HBCUs are making some noise.
Yeah, again, HBCU, the one spot where they're making noise is on television, being seen, streaming. So that's a great thing. And I know Tree wants to talk about HBCUs because I know she has a lot to say. I think we all on this particular show, Real Talk, we love to see HBC U schools get an opportunity. But just talking about the SWAC, the MEAC, those schools there, they all came out, victorious. Those that were supposed to win. So, excuse me. Tennessee State fell to Jackson State, which I know that's one game that Tree wants to talk about. And North Carolina A&T, they tried to go up and face Duke, even though Duke against other teams may not fare very well in football, but they kind of handled North Carolina A&T, beat them 45-17, and Hampton lost to Old Dominion 47-7, and then that leads me to Tennessee State and Jackson State, where Jackson State beat Tennessee State. So I know Tree wanted to say something about Jackson State and Tennessee State game.
Yes, I just wanted to say that I am loving what Deion Sanders is doing with his team. He wanted to make sure that his team was dressed to the nines, so he reached out to Michael Strahan and he got them custom suits made for every player on his team. He designed them, the insides, everything from head to toe, to make sure that they arrived in style. And that whole team just felt so awesome and amazing going through that experience. And he's also looking at getting the names on the backs of the jerseys, because for whatever reason, I never noticed the names aren't on the back of the jerseys. So I'm loving what he's doing with bringing positivity to the HBCUs. And I think that it's phenomenal.
Yeah, no doubt. It is good to see these teams getting this kind of love. And it's good to see that the nation's eyes are now seeing what a lot of people have seen for a long time. They do more than just have the band and the halftime. There's some good football that's played in HBCU schools. Tyrone, you mentioned about North Carolina A&T. This team has been dominant over the last several years. Unfortunately, moving on, I believe they moved out of the MEAC conference, or about to move out to the MEAC, to a PWI conference. So it's going to be sad to see them go, but they've been dominant. North Carolina Central the same way. I mean, the MEAC really has, ever since they've had this kind of Black College Football Championship, they have been tip top. And we've seen some great players. I believe he was at North Carolina A&T. The little scat back for the Chicago Bears was on that team. And he rushed for, I think, almost 300 yards in the championship game. And now he finds himself on the Bears as well. So I just had a brain lock. I can't remember his name. But, an outstanding young player. And there's a lot of good stuff going on in the HBCU schools.
And also, speaking of HBCU, North Carolina A&T, they also represented also in the Olympics. People don't forget that. Their program is steadily coming up. But also, there's another side of the HBCU, and if you want to call, well, it is what it is, Division II HBCU. You have schools like Jackson State. They're considered the big boys of the HBCU world, and you got schools like Clark Atlanta, Fort Valley, Morehouse. They are the HBCU Division II schools. So Clark Atlanta had a loss this weekend and past weekend, and they're looking to rebound against their opponent. And you got Morehouse, they're 0-2. So hopefully those schools here locally can continue to rise to the top. As they say, the cream rises to the top. So give a shout out to Clark Atlanta, Morehouse, and also got to sprinkle Fort Valley in there. I'm representing Fort Valley as well, even though I'm here in Atlanta. Fort Valley, we're actually going to call that game this weekend. So they're playing Lane College. And if you want to watch this game, you can watch it on ESPN Plus. Me and my sidekick, James Verrett, will be giving you play-by-play, and I'll be telling you who looks like they could be playing on Sunday. So you want to tune in and make sure you catch that Fort Valley State and Lane College game.
And speaking of that, I did find a young man's name, Tyreek Cohen. Outstanding athlete, North Carolina A&T. Like I said, again, a dominant performance in the championship game. He rushed for close to 300 yards. And we could see then that this guy was going to be must-see TV, and he has been for the Bears. He's had some highlight plays since he's been with Chicago, both as a kick returner and as a runner. So, again, lots of stuff coming out of the HBCUs. You guys need to keep it locked. We're going to continue to bring you more coverage and some highlights as this season goes on. Well, we got to take a break because we got to take care of those folks that kind of support the program. We love you, and we want you guys to love them. Take a look. We'll be right back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show. Don't go anywhere.
Nothing better than the sound of diesel in the morning. And what better place to get high horsepower diesel than the all-new 2024 F-250, now with 475 horsepower and over 1,000 foot-pound of torque. You know where to get it? From me, the minister, Jonathan Simmons at Allen Vigil Ford Commercial Sales. Because you know why? I'm the commercial truck guy in the shirt and tie.
Everybody, we're back. Yeah, I had to put a shameless plug in for myself. If you do want to get a vehicle, I actually am a commercial account representative at Allen Vigil Ford and Lincoln. They are the proud gold level sponsor for our high school football. So please come on out. If you need a vehicle for yourself, your business, or your family, come on out and see me. I'll be more than happy to be your personal automobile concierge. You can contact me via phone 678-410-9833. And like I said again, I'll be more than happy to assist you. Let's go to social media and see what we have going on here. And I'm getting some love from my cousin, Freddie. Freddie, I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, mad love right back to you, cuz. Appreciate you tuning in from my hometown of Norwalk, Connecticut. A lot of people are like, who? What? Norwalk, Connecticut, about 45 minutes north of the Bronx, New York. So, Freddie, appreciate you, bro. Mad love back to you and the rest of the family. All right. Did you guys watch any NFL football over the weekend?
Of course.
I'm just double checking. All right, Tree, since you said, of course, what game, I don't even know why I'm asking this, but what game did you happen to put your eyes on and you'd like to maybe comment about?
I mean, I watched the Falcons. They played.
Lord have mercy.
I watched the Saints. So yeah. I mean, the Falcons, they have a lot of work to do, but it's never how you start, it's how you finish. So I say that every year. And in the beginning, you just work out the kinks, you see what you need to work on. You have to definitely stay positive and just get better and improve, because it's the end of the season that matters, the middle and end.
See, and I thought you were going to talk about your boys in the powder blue.
My Detroit
Lions. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I mean, I love my Lions. But that's a given. That's a given. I love my Lions.
And at the end of the day, they got off to kind of a slow start against the 49ers, but eventually made a game out of it. Final score 41-33. Lions scored 23 points in the second half, but it wasn't enough to hold off the 49ers, who had built up by that time a pretty substantial lead, up 31-10 at the halftime, up 38-17 going to the final quarter. But like I said, big shout out to the Lions. You guys got a new quarterback, Jared Goff. He put up some big numbers for the Lions, 38 of 57, 338 yards, and 3 touchdown passes, only 1 interception. DeAndre Swift, local guy here from out of Georgia, 8 receptions, 65 yards. TJ Hawkinson, 8 receptions, 97 yards. And on the ground, DeAndre Swift also, again, UGA product, chipped in with 11 carries for 39 yards. And the leading rusher was Jamal Williams, 9 carries for 54 yards. So again, your guys in the powder blue went down, but they threw a few punches before they hit the ground. They did a little something.
They did. Hey, it's like I say, I'm pleased. I think my Lions are going to do well this season. I've been saying it. Everybody looks at me like I'm crazy, but I don't care. I believe it, and we'll see. So, one pride, I will shout it. And I do also have to say that I noticed that Matthew Stafford also played well. The only difference is that he got the W. And I still miss Matthew Stafford. I was really hoping that we didn't get rid of him. I loved him in Detroit. Great quarterback. So I'm happy that he got a W, but I really do miss seeing him in the Lions jersey.
Number 9, the Texas Gunslinger via the Georgia Bulldogs in red and black. Yeah, one of the best arms in the National Football League. The guy can sling it probably about 70 or 80 yards in the air. I know there are many Falcons fans that wish that somehow that was one UGA product that could have found himself here in Atlanta, but that's another story. Tyrone, was there any teams or any games that you kind of said, hey, I kind of had my eye on?
Well, I have the Rec TV package, so I was kind of flipping from team to team. And of course, Philadelphia and Atlanta, they were blacked out because it was being shown locally here. But the Cincinnati Bengals and the Minnesota Vikings, that actually was a great game. Actually went into OT. I love that game, watching it. As you alluded to, San Francisco over Detroit. Arizona. Was a real big surprise how they beat Tennessee and really beat Tennessee like Tennessee. Julio probably want to come back to Atlanta after that loss they had 38-13. Russell Wilson doing what he always does with Seattle over Indianapolis, and the Rams actually beat Washington. So the questioning is, will they give Cam an opportunity to come and try out for the Redskins, which, a lot of people saying, I don't know. Ron Rivera, that was his coach in Carolina, but still, Cam brings a lot of noise with him. So not saying that's bad, but he does bring a lot of attention. And Carolina beat the Jets. And the one thing I wanted to see was Trevor Lawrence versus the Texans to see how he turned out. Of course, he played like a rookie to me and threw a couple of interceptions, but, he'll bounce back. Urban Myers, I hear a lot of reports coming out of Jacksonville that the players and the organization really don't like Urban Myers, man. He think he's still in college. He's dealing with a lot of high price paid men.
Grown men.
Yes.
Fully grown.
Like you in college. So
fully grown.
Yes. So I know a lot of people are upset about that. And actually the Patriots, lost to the Dolphins. But the biggest one was how Jameis Winston scored them points with the Saints over Green Bay, and I was very happy for Jameis, and I think if he can play good, the Saints going to be very good.
Yes, I was very happy for him as well.
No doubt, NFC South now is really going to be a formidable task now that Jameis Winston is playing like the number one draft choice again. I mean, he said all during the offseason. Now, he had a couple of he's kind of loose and free with the vocabulary. He really kind of gets things kind of mixed up, because I know it works. Sometimes your mind's going faster than your mouth, but the bottom line is, this guy, make no mistake, he got a high football IQ, and this guy can sling it. And when he's on top of his game, he's one of the best throwers of the deep ball that are in the NFL. So don't sleep on New Orleans. If he can continue to play like that, they're going to be a very, very tough team to beat. And then, of course, we saw on Thursday night, the old man did it again. Had a little help with a non-call there late in the game, but the bottom line is Tom Brady once again pulled off a last-minute miracle finish, and Tampa Bay starts off the defense of their crown at 1-0, knocking off the Cowboys 31-29. Let's go to social media here, and I think our man is back on the scene.
Affiliate man.
Affiliate man. Todd is in the building. Let's go ahead and I put my glasses on. That's some small print right there. He says, give your shades ready, preacher. Tyrone threw me under the bus for saying Matt don't have any more a few weeks ago. Well, I may not have played in the league, Tyrone, but Ray Charles can see Matt is toast. Affiliate man already in full swing. We haven't got to the Falcons yet. He already throwing some leather. Well, listen, I mean, we're gonna talk about that in about 5 minutes. D. Orlando Ledbetter will be joining us at the 9 o'clock hour. But yeah, I mean, look, that's really what you're looking at here. I mean, you're looking at an improved NFC South. Now you're talking Jameis Winston. We can see now that, you have you got Carolina pretty much back to full strength. And with Christian McCaffrey, a guy who's an MVP candidate, Tyrone, one guy can make a difference to your ball club, especially playing at that level.
Exactly. And also you mentioned one guy, you talking about the NFC South, Tampa Bay again. Tampa Bay right now they are head of the class.
Yes, sir.
What is going to make them even better when it comes to the receivers, and I understand this is just the first week, but Antonio Brown had 5 catches. He was targeted 7 times, 121 yards. So if they get Antonio Brown crunk up, get him, what they say, crank up that diesel. Crank up that diesel. Well, he may not be a diesel, but man, look at here. If they get him going, and man, look at the Tampa Bay. Woo! I see back-to-back Super Bowls happening.
Well, there's no doubt about it. I mean, and Tom Brady made that clear to the team. and to the coaches, the goal is, hey, man, we got to put our stuff behind us. It's all good, but we're trying to win this thing again. And he's experienced doing it. He's done it before. Matter of fact, almost had a three-peat. So, and the key was, Tyrone, they did something that's very rarely done in the NFL. As you know, they brought everybody back. I think 21 or 22 starters came back.
Yeah, they got Chris Godwin. Let's not forget about him, man. I'm like, again, he was over 100 yards receiving. So Atlanta, I'm telling you, the offense, you want to try to slow down a team like the Bucks. You want to keep their offense off the field. So, yes, affiliate man, hey, I'm still with Matt Ryan, and I think, he still can do enough to kind of get the Falcons going. But I'm telling you, if the Falcons cannot play defense, man, if they cannot play defense, and as you saw, and everybody saw the game, the Cowboys, I got to say about the Cowboys real quick. The Cowboys, really, I was surprised with the Cowboys. I was happy with the Cowboys. A couple of calls here and there, the Cowboys probably would have won that game.
Right.
I'm surprised that kicker for the Cowboys is still on the doggone roster. He missed 7 points just in itself. But again, the Falcons secondary, you got Brown, Godwin, Gronkowski. Man, look at here. Boy, that defense better get ready. They better get ready. Get ready.
I got to put my nighttime shades on so I can. That's what I have to do, man, against Tampa Bay. They have to put them lemon yellow jobs on. They can see what's going on, baby. Because, at the end of the day, it's like this. The Falcons defense, we can say what they want, but the best defense they can have is if Atlanta can find some way to run the ball, which against Tampa Bay, that front seven looks stout. And I'm actually partially, it's like when Ali fought Foreman, like a lot of us were scared Ali might get killed in the ring. Man, when I was watching Vita Vea, wee, and JPP come off the edge, I said, man, if they showed that meme with Matt Land face down against the Eagles, they're going to have to stretch him out against Tampa Bay if they can't block any better, bro. Yeah. Yeah. And so to me, now let's ask the question. Do you think that the Falcons should take a page out of the Bears book and the 49ers book to put in some plays for Felipe Franks to kind of at least show some mobility from that quarterback position? Tyrone, what do you think?
I think it's all predicated on how much of the playbook he knows. And I think you're always good when everybody has one system. I think sometimes it can cause confusion amongst the players. I think sometimes momentum can be destroyed. So I think, you either go with Felipe and let him grow and let him learn, or, you got to try to find other ways to get other guys involved with Matt Ryan as your quarterback. But either way, they do need a spark. I agree with you. They need to do something, man. I don't know. Maybe put you back there at quarterback and let you pray. You know what? We're going to let you pray over the football. Every time they get ready to snap it, you're going to run out there and say something on the football and then run out the field. So
now I'm just saying,
man.
I'm just saying, I've been calling the search before. Henry County, in their first playoff game in, I think, 20 years, they said, Preacher, matter of fact, the head coach is now assistant coach at Forest Park, said, Preacher, we want you to address the young men before they go out. Now, I can't remember the score of the game, but I do remember that I did pray hardly for those young men to go out there and do their thing. And my good buddy, I'm going to shout him out, Clemson grad, former Rams, my good buddy Dexter Davis, him and his wife run the Urban FCA, and he, in fact, is the chaplain for the Falcons. And so, Dexter, in my place, you have to pray hard, because them Falcons, they're gonna be in some trouble next week. That's all I can say about it. But like I said, all is not lost. At the end of the day, if they can find a way to run the ball, they might be better. Okay, let's go here. Philip Man, he had to jump into the fray, and the Philip Man says, Matt said after the game he didn't need preseason. He looked rusty to me, Tyrone. He said, "What you seeing, man? Do you look rusty?" That's a Philip Man's question.
And see, that's my thing. I think everybody should do preseason because it does get the kinks out. It gets the chemistry back. It gets your accuracy back. And so it's almost like Matt Ryan and all these other quarterbacks that didn't take on preseason, whether it's a running back or wide receiver, the timing is off. And like you alluded to, Jonathan, maybe around week 4, it starts to come back. But then the question is it too late? Is it too late? Have you gotten too far behind in the race? And now you're pulling a hamstring to try to catch up. So I definitely agree that preseason is a must, and I don't think they should play a lot of plays, but you should get in there and just knock the dust off.
There you go. Speaking of knock the dust off, we got to knock the dust off for this segment right here and move on to our final segment. But first, we got to take a break. We'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show in just a moment.
Did you know that Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, Georgia also has Lincoln? Over 35 years of using the Vigil Touch to provide excellent customer service, works hand in hand with the Lincoln Motor Company to provide a luxurious and seamless way to acquire your next luxury vehicle. Lincoln has an array of full-service complimentary owner benefits. These benefits include hospitality partnerships, service pickup and delivery, all which can be accessed through the Lincoln Way app. You can even contact the 24/7 concierge to have someone assist you. Come and see our great inventory of new and pre-owned Lincolns today. Call 678-364-7345 to make an appointment with one of our brand champions or shop 24/7 online at allenvigillincoln.net.
Bam. Well, that was the headline from Falcons Eagles, as you guys can see on the screen. That was what I saw when I took my hard-earned money and went down and spent it to go watch the Falcons. I could have probably had more enjoyment setting my money on fire and starting a tailgate out in front. That's how bad this team played. I'm flashing up for you again. Once again, the Falcons make a average quarterback look like a Pro Bowler. Jalen Hurts, 27 of 35, 264, 3 touchdown passes, not a single interception. Do a couple of darts on the run to get 2 of those touchdown passes. And then he ran 7 more times for 62 yards, including some critical first downs when it looked like the Falcons had them stopped on a 3-and-out. So Jalen Hurts puts up over 300 yards of total offense, and the Eagles dispatch the Falcons 32-6. Tree, were you able to stay awake during that fiasco?
I did stay awake. It was it was sad to see. It really looked like a professional team playing a low-level college team. But like I said, I know they have a lot of kinks to work out. I know the Atlanta Falcons fans were not happy to see how badly they were getting beaten. But it's like I said, they just have to keep their heads up. They really need to work hard. But part of the problem, when you heard about Matt talking about this being his first year in 14 years ever taking a test of, like where you're working out. I just lost the terminology, but my goodness, like you still have to stay in shape when you're in the NFL. And I understand that you work out and you do these different things, but for them not to continuously have these different tests that they have to meet and things of that nature, it's just part of the problem, because we know that you have to stay in shape. And when it gets to the end of the game, even though that wasn't a problem Sunday, but when it gets to the end of the game, when you have that stamina and when you're in football shape and you're really not going to let teams run you off the field, then that actually makes a big difference in a lot of wins and losses.
Ooh, I had to put my shades on right there. Tree talking about a little tension between Mr. Ryan, maybe, and the head coach. Well, we're going to have a gentleman that's going to dive in a little bit deeper for us on that. He is the embedded sports writer for AJC Sports for the Atlanta Falcons. He's an award-winning sports writer as well, and he is Esquire par excellence. The one and only D. Orlando Ledbetter. Welcome back, kind sir.
Thank you, Reverend. Thanks for having me on Real Talk Sports this evening. I told my folks on Twitter that I know the Reverend is praying for the Falcons right now.
Sir, that is true. I mean, I have come down off of the tree that I was on when I left the stadium, when I was trying to, come back and go back inside and get a refund. I'm past that now. I'm good. So what was your take on what we all saw on Sunday?
Yeah, it was a bad display of football, but we had anticipated it, Reverend. When you don't practice in the off season and you run around playing tag, you're not tackling, and then you decide not to play your new team. When you're changing out half of the starters, it's gonna look a little raggedy, and so it looked raggedy, and I was not surprised at all. They came out good. When they were on the script, you put together 2 drives, 14, 15 plays, got down low, and couldn't do anything. So that was a problem that they should have been fixing in the preseason because they knew it was a problem last year. But he came out in the script. The script was good, so that was promising. But yeah, after that, it got real raggedy on both sides of the ball, which I anticipated. So I thought they were going to be good enough to still beat the Eagles, but apparently not.
Yeah, like I said earlier, they once again make a quarterback from another team who's at an average quarterback, make him look like an all-pro. I mean, Jalen Hurts is a guy. I mean, he's not bad, but I mean, he's nowhere near as good as what we saw against the Falcons.
Well, Jalen, my frat brother came out and showed off. He trains here in Atlanta with Chip Smith, who trained Colin Kaepernick. So he got him ready for the league. So hats off to Jalen. Jalen, I like that 20-yard out he threw to the tight end up the field. That was a good-looking ball. So
there's no doubt. And that run, that one he threw into what seemed to be a sea of traffic down in the red zone, that was another nice play. He did that on a dead run. Let's go to social media here. And we've stirred up my man Todd. He's got a question for D-Led. Put the glasses on so I can see it well myself. He says, D-Led, did you ask Coach why he didn't get some help for that rookie offensive lineman that was getting killed?
We didn't ask that specifically, but we saw a couple times where the rookie should have been helping Matt Hennessy, who was getting pushed back in the pocket. The rookie jumped off sides twice, got whiffed on the they should have had somebody helping with him. Should have been a chip block from a back or Hennessy double teaming his guy. But Hargrave is a big guy, so if you are double teaming Fletcher Cox, somebody's gonna be left one-on-one. And so Hargrave was one-on-one with the rookie because you can't double everybody, but and you don't get to dictate where the double team goes. So that's why Philly knew what they were doing. They put Fletcher Cox on the other side. You can't leave him one-on-one. So the rookie had to handle one-on-one business with Devon Hargrave from SC State, SBCU action there. And he couldn't do it. He wasn't ready for it yet. That was South Carolina State on Michigan crime right there.
Wow. Tyrone, what did you see, especially in that first drive? I mean, how important you think it was for them not to be able to score on at least one of those 2 drives? I mean, you've been on teams that, you get that engine going, you get 10, 12 plays, you get a touchdown. How debilitating was it for the Falcons not to get it and then for the Eagles to stop them?
Well, it's always a great momentum shift, regardless. Offensively, if you don't score when you should have scored, then that bad omen, so to speak, it rolls over to the defense. So the defense comes out on the field and they're playing with that same negative feeling, so to speak, regardless of what people say, we as defensive players, or it could be offensive players, but here from a defensive standpoint, if the offense doesn't put the ball in when we know they should have, then we're putting our helmets on, going out there on the field saying, come on, man. So, again, that negativity can flow over and it allow the opponent's offense to gain momentum. And that's usually when big plays happen, and that's what they call momentum, the shifting in the game. But, again, as we alluded to earlier, if the Falcons cannot run the ball, I'm like, Mike Davis, again, he's supposed to be the man, but, Patterson outrushed him really, by only a few yards. Patterson had 54 total and Davis had 49. But the Falcons, if they cannot run that ball, I'm like, Matt Ryan got sacked, 3 times? And D-led, as you alluded to, Fletcher Cox. Let's not forget now, Fletcher is just like Aaron Donald out there for them Rams. It's just that he played for Philadelphia and Aaron Donald played for the Rams, but both of them boys can cause some havoc. So, again, if they can't keep Matt Ryan upright, he's already old. And just like, again, I'm not talking about Tampa Bay, but they do play Tampa Bay. Look at what Tampa Bay did when they played the Cowboys. The Cowboys, man, Tom Brady probably still ain't got his pants. He probably didn't wash his pants this week. But Matt Ryan, I'm pretty sure he probably went to the alcohol and the green alcohol on top of that, getting rid of some of that soreness. So, the offensive line going to have to do something, man.
D-Led, there's a question from SKB Gang. He wants to know, what did you think about, speaking of running game, Mike Davis?
I thought Davis ran hard. He's not elite. Our question was, hey, is Mike Davis a lead back? And he's a good back. They both ran the ball hard. They threw him the ball at the backfield. He had a 28-yarder negated on a pick route penalty. So he can catch it and he can run it a little bit. He's gonna need better blocking. He's gonna need some blocking to get to the second level. They were trying to run the stretch plays on the outside zone, but the right tackle wasn't he was getting stalemated, so there was no room over there. The room was behind the center and the right guard, so they were able to cut it back and break into the secondary that way. But the way the play's designed is, you're going to make one cut and go, but you got to create some room. But the right tackle, who's supposed to be a run blocker, wasn't creating any room. That's Caleb McGarry. The room was being created by Lindstrom and Matt Hennessy. And, and then the rookie was just sealing off and, trying to get in the way and not get thrown into the play. But we got two good blockers and Jake holding up on left side. But you need 5. If you're going to run the outside zone, they got to be all together, footsteps together. And, I'm not making that up. That's what Tom Cabo, Alex Gibbs, all the guys that have been here in Atlanta, coaching the line, Tom Morgan, Paul Boudreau, veteran guys that coach the line. If you're going to run the outside zone, that's how you run it. That line should be running in unison, clearing out space for that back to make one hole, and they're getting stalemated.
No doubt. All right, we got another good buddy here, man that knows his way around sports. Brandon Leak got a question there. My man, home team is in the building. Appreciate you, sir. His question is, what would you make of Kyle Pitts? What made Kyle Pitts more of a threat of becoming a red zone threat or a high target lead basically set up to soften defenses? What do you think about the way they're using him or trying to use him?
Yeah, that was a little disappointing. I know he can't put him in line to block. So when they were running the ball, he wasn't in. But in the red zone, he's got to be in there because, Tony Gonzalez told me before the season started, hey, he should be unstoppable. The red zone problems are over. I don't know if you're throwing fades, jump balls, or whatever. Calvin really got doubled from the 3. The other receiver fell down, and you got Mike Davis running the flat route. Where was Kyle Pitts? He wasn't even on the field, on the 3-yard line. So I'm thinking, that was a mistake. So I'm thinking the coach will realize that, hey, I probably need Kyle Pitts on the field in the red zone, in the low red zone. Because, if you're going to throw it, if you're going to block, put Lee Smith in there and put him and fullback in there and try to knock some people out the way. So, you might be telegraphing what you're doing, but don't get cute on the 3-yard line. Either knock some people out the way or put your 6'6" guy out there and let him go get a couple jump balls.
Yeah, and I'll add this on the way. D-Led is saying, again, being up in New England, whenever Gronk got out to split wide, it ain't no hiding. They know who's going to get the ball, okay? And you either going to make the play or we're going to make the play. You can't hide nothing. It's like back in the 60s when the Green Bay Packers, you knew they were going to run a sweep. You knew it was coming. You didn't know when it was coming, but you knew it was coming. You just got to stop it. So, again, Kyle Pitts, that's why they drafted the guy. Put him out there, man. I'm like, he was targeted, 8 times and only came up with 4 catches. So, come on, man. You got to have more than that. He should have been targeted 12, 15 times. That's the star guy. That's who we're trying to make the star guy, he and Ridley. So, get that guy the ball, man.
That's right. Let him go up and moss somebody.
What you said? She said, moss him. What?
Yeah,
what you know
I
about
see
that?
him go up and moss somebody.
You know a lot about Minnesota.
Oh, you already know. Yes, sir. You already know. Let's go back to social media here. SKB gang. He says, do you think Arthur Smith has the right scheme for the Falcons? Like, I don't know. After one game, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter if they run the wishbone or the power eye or whatever. If you ain't blocking, you losing three of the 5 blocking spots up front. It don't matter. So it ain't about the scheme. People need to get off of that. He could be running the run and shoot. If you ain't blocking the guys and they in the quarterback's face, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, here's the bottom line. Okay, again, we go back to where that game started. It started almost exactly the way you wanted to start as a Falcons fan. It apparently that zone blocking was clicking on all cylinders. You had Cordell doing something I thought he wasn't going to be able to do. I thought to myself, why are you going to put a receiver and a return man to play running back? But in fact, he was doing exactly what they wanted him to do. He was that one step and go. He was able to elude guys. He got into the second zone very, very quickly, and they moved the ball down the field very crisply. And I thought to myself, this is all they have to do now is to throw the ball up to the goalpost, okay? Because either two people are going to make a play. Either the goalpost is going to make a play or your 6'6" stud is going to make a play. Case closed on the story, but I didn't see any of that at all. Like you said, I was shocked he was out of the game. Anyway, let's go back to social media here. I got to change glasses like 3 or 4 times, but that's okay. Let's go here to Todd. He said, last question for D-Leg. Coach Smith called no explosive plays for Falcons. Is this the boy wonder genius we were led to believe? Man, Todd just lighten them up. Lord have mercy, Todd. Please.
Yeah, they were one of 2 teams that didn't have it was the Bears and the Falcons who didn't have a play of 20 yards or more. So that's what Todd's talking about. I'm not going to judge the coach on this one because to me this was an exhibition game. This first time out. They don't practice. They don't tackle. They don't have everything together yet. As noticed by the penalties, the pre-snap penalty, get on the 2-yard line, can't line up right. If they had been practicing in the preseason more, maybe they line up right. But they chose not to practice, trying not to show everybody what they had when they should have probably been. I know you don't want to get guys hurt, but it's a fine line between getting ready for the season and not getting ready for the season. They wasn't ready. So I'm not, you can't judge him on that game because they wasn't ready to play. And he admitted it. He knew. He's like, hey, I wasn't ready to play. But I'm like, how could you be ready to play, coach? You didn't practice. You got 3 practice games and you chose to not play. You chose not to practice. So yeah, you didn't have him ready. We knew you weren't gonna have him ready.
Hold up. Practice?
You're gonna beat the Eagles.
Practice? You're talking about practice?
Yeah, it matters, coach. Don't let Iverson fool you. Maybe basketball you don't have to practice, but football you gotta practice.
Lord have mercy. All right. Brandon Leak, a couple of quick questions for D-Led. He said, for D-Led, how do the Falcons match up against the bigger offensive lines, considering, or do they have an undersized, overall in their front 7? I mean, they do look a little small.
Yeah, the 3-4, and Tyrone knows that he talked about last week. They don't have a Will Wilfolk at nose guard to tie up 2 people. Okay, they got 3 300-pound guys, Bullock, Grady, and Tyler Davidson. They don't have a 340-pound guy that's going to push that thing back. So I don't know why they're trying to, they don't have the people to run that defense. And we saw on some of the tapes where Dante Fowler and Jacob Toole to Mariner were getting pushed to the ground by Lane Johnson and Mayota, Eagles guards. I mean, both of your ends on the 3rd down are getting pushed to the ground. So, you don't I only see Willie McGinnis out there. I know what that looks like. So they don't have the edge rushers for that. They don't have the big nose guard for that. And blitzing is only going to cover up so much of it. So, until they get the people in here, there are a lot of things to fix. Till they get the right people in here to fit that defense, it's going to be a crapshoot every weekend.
Yeah, wow. and I think Dean Pease is a good coach, but like you said, D-Led, at some point you gotta make adjustments until you can get what you need out there on the field. You talk about Fowler, Dante on the head, like 2 tackles 2 tackles in the game. Deion Jones was the leading tackler with 11. But the one thing that also stood out to me is, even though it's the first game, I'm like, they had no turnovers, man, no turnovers. And I can tell you what, you cannot win games if you cannot get turnovers. So again, it was depressing to see that the first game, you would think the first game of the season, this is when you're going to see a lot of big plays offensively, and you're going to see a lot of turnovers, because usually defenses are ahead of offenses. But I'm like, the Falcon defense came away with 0 turnovers, man.
Before we go to social media, we got a couple of questions for Tyrone. Tree, I know you are all about the defense. What do you think about watching this defense, especially since your hubby was a guy that could bring that pressure off the edge?
Yeah, like I said, it really it was sad to watch. And, like I said, I was trying just to remain positive, but it was sad to watch them out there playing. And it was just like D-Led said, they weren't ready. And it definitely showed with the way that defense played and the way that they were just playing overall. And so I'm just really hoping that things can get better just for their momentum. I'm really actually looking forward to seeing what the Falcons can do this season. I want to see them doing well, but honestly, watching it, I wasn't impressed at all.
See, your team got trouble. One of those beautiful women on the air just shakes her head and said they were sad. That's when you put a bad product on the field. All right, let's go to social media here. Brandon Leach got a question for Tyrone. He said, what will Calvin Ridley, how will he be impacted without Julio Jones on the field this season?
Well, I think what we saw is what we're going to see for the rest of the season. And I'm going to put it to you just like a coach once told us. Anybody on that offense can beat us, but this guy who we say will not beat us is not going to beat us. So that's what teams are going to be saying. Calvin Ridley is not going to beat us. Now the rookie, Kyle Pitts, he's going to have to show us that he can play on this level. Calvin Ridley has already shown he's a great route runner. He can get touchdowns. So this year, we're taking him away, and he is not going to beat us. So I think, Calvin Ridley is going to get his touches. Again, he was targeted, 8 times this past game against the Eagles, and he came up with 5 catches for 51, but still no touchdowns. So I think Calvin Ridley is going to experience a little bit of that Julio Jones. It's going to go some games where he may not score a touchdown. So Kyle Pitts and everybody else, they're going to have to step their game up, just like Calvin Ridley did. He stepped his game up whenever Julio got doubled or didn't score, or whenever Julio didn't play. So Calvin Ridley really is going to have to study his game. He's going to have to be creative in how he run his routes. Basically, he's just going to have to up his game.
All right, another question for you, Tyrone. Who would you rather have, Travis Kelce or George Kittle?
Kelce.
Oh, I heard D-Led.
Yep. Go ahead. D-Led, we're going to you next. Go ahead, bro.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna do it like this. I'm going to split the middle. I'm going to be like a politician. I'm running a 2 tight end set, so I'm getting both of them.
There you go. There you go. All right, we got our good buddy Bobbly D blasting games. He said discouragement began as the option to sit these guys all out of preseason makes this rather depressing. Yeah, you're spot on with that. Fantasy football, GOAT Strategy, what's up there on YouTube? Says Tree, Dan Quinn Falcons defenses versus Dan Quinn's Cowboys defense. What did you like from what you saw between the two? She laughing.
Jokes. Let's see. I didn't like the defense.
Tell the truth.
Honestly, defense has to have, they got to play with that intensity. Right. Defense is all about, the whole game is just mental. But when you're going out there with defense and you're the one that actually is creating the contact, you really have to have that intensity, and you have to have that grit. And, you just know it when you see it. That's what I want to see from defense. I want you super hungry. It's just like what my husband used to say when he was playing. He told me he was always, him and his friends and his teammates, how you feeling? I'm feeling sackalicious. So my husband knew before he played that he was feeling sackalicious and he was getting some sacks. I
And
need
he got a lot of them
to know, hey, I'm getting some tackles. I'm getting, some interceptions. You have to go out and believe it before it happens, and then you'll play like that. But you also have to work really hard. So I really don't see that intensity, but I want to see it. That's what I want to see from defenses.
Well, D-Led, we did see a former Falcon do what he used to kind of do here, stuck his head in there. DeMonte Casey got a big pop to cause a fumble, kind of knocked his helmet off, but he stuck his head in there.
Oh yeah, that I didn't see Keanu do much. I didn't either. Ricardo up in Cincinnati, what they do. I'll go back about 4 games in and see how the old guys are doing. Coach Dan's back. I was texting him doing Hard Knocks after he got COVID. But good for him. Glad he's back. But yeah, they had their hands full with the Patriots, who attacked them through the air with Antonio Brown and Chris Godwin. I guess they took away Mike Evans, but they couldn't take away all 3 of them. So that's what the Falcons will be trying to deal with this week.
Let me ask D-Led this question. D-Led, do you think Patterson, you mentioned that he was that one-cut guy. Do you think he will start taking some reps away from Mike Davis? You think they'll make that switch very soon by making Patterson the starter over Davis?
I think so, just because Coach said last Friday, he's like, hey, I'm going to run Mike first. I'm going to run him out there. But, he's going to go with the hot hand approach. So, Patterson's never carried a load, so you don't know how much you can put on his plate. So, I think they're going to still split it, but, I think over time, maybe Cordarrelle pulls ahead and maybe changes his number to 48. He just looks so weird running with an 84 out there. So I don't know. It's a big experiment. I mean, I haven't seen this before from you've seen a lot of players move around and so forth, but not wide receiver to running back.
Ooh, I tell you what, if they don't get that running game going, Matt Ryan had 3 sacks? He had 3 sacks?
Yeah, man, they were all late.
Get ready for he may lead the leagues in being sacked if they don't get a running game going in Atlanta.
Well, let's go to social media here as we get a chance to wrap it up here. Affiliate Man says, Todd says, I believe the Falcons, if not careful, are in danger of losing their fan base. Absolutely. And also here, our friends from Fantasy Football says, how soon before the Falcons get into offering 2 or 3 first-round picks like Houston wants for Deshaun Watson?
Yeah, the fan base thing, I'm like, okay, I don't buy that. If you're a fan of your team, you're with them or you're not. Detroit fans been there for 40 years. They ain't won nothing since 58.
That's right.
So the Cleveland Browns fans, their team got taken away and they came back and they were still fans. So either you're a fan or you're a fair weather fan. So if you predicating your fanhood on them winning, then that's not how it goes down. So that's my fan thing. Deshaun Watson, I don't think you could take him on here in Atlanta. Mr. Blank's got a character filter that he wants on the team after the post-Michael Vick era. Definitely doesn't want anybody with domestic violence problems or abuse problems. So that's a no-go for Deshaun coming here to Atlanta. Even though he was a Falcons ball boy, they would have to do a lot of due diligence to make sure that none of this stuff is true. But 20-plus cases would be a whole lot for it would take a whole lot for Falcons owner Arthur Blank to maybe a whole lot of losing too. Hey, maybe we could rehab them. I don't know. I don't think right now as it stands that's going to ever happen here.
Yeah, I know. I'd love to see it. I think that especially the way this team is configured now, this offense will be cooking. But at the end of the day, you're right. The Falcons, since the Michael Vick situation, do not want any part of any controversy. And I think that's one of the reasons why they have shied away from bringing in mobile quarterbacks even to challenge Matt. I just don't think they want to deal with the fan stuff or anything at all. But one thing we got to deal with is it's time to go. I can't believe it's time to go. All right, you know how we do it, guys. We make sure that everybody gets a chance to tell people how they can find out more about them. So, D. Orlando Ledbetter, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Reverend. You can find me at ajc.com or on Twitter at DOrlandoAJC. Got the Bowtie Chronicles podcast dropping at 8 a.m. every Wednesday. and Monday, wrapping up the game and then previewing the upcoming game. And then our Cover 9 at 9 blog, where tomorrow we're going to look at them 2 pick plays that cost the Falcons in their second drive of the third quarter. So we appreciate you coming by and subscribing to the AJC and following us on Twitter.
And guys, we finally got them straight with the purple and gold.
Purple and gold.
Represent the Omega Phi Psi right there. There we go. The Orlando Ledbetter. We appreciate you, sir, and we'll see you again soon.
Peace.
All right, Mr. Tyrone Poole, let me get it straight. The floor is yours.
All right, 1001, 1002, 1003. There you go. They can follow me, Tyrone Poole 38. Tyrone Poole 38, all social media. And hey, we might need to go get Matt Schaub or either bring Phillip Rivers out of retirement and bring him on up here to Atlanta. How about that? Or how about Alex Smith? I'll leave it at that.
Whoa, Tyrone Poole, send us off right. All right, brother, until the next time. God bless. And have a great day. The Queen, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. I first would like to say that I missed you guys last week. I apologize for not being here. Last week was me and my hubby's anniversary. And so I just wanted to take some time and just focus on me and my baby and make videos and just do me. But I'm so happy to be back with you guys. And like I said, I missed you. And you can follow me on all social media at It's Latresa, as well as Ms. America International 2020.
As you can see, I have the Purple Diva all set up in her purple. Well, until next week, God bless you. All right, guys, yours truly here. It's not. Well, let me get mine straightened out here. Yeah, so you guys know me. You can follow me on social media at Real Talk Sports 7. That's actually the show. Or you can follow me personally at Minister J. Sim. And we'd love to connect with you. Or you can reach me via email, jsimmons@realtalksports.net, or call me on the cell, 678-410-9833. All right, everybody, you know the minister can't leave you, but I'm asking you, you know the Lord. Do you know Jehovah God yourself? I'm telling you, if you don't, please, ma'am, please, sir, get to know him today. Why? Because nobody loves you like him. And he sent his son, Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ, to die for you so that you can be a part of his family. And it's real simple how this works. You just have to believe that Jesus Christ came, fully God, fully man, paid the one-time penalty for all sins of mankind, including yours, when he died on the cross. And he rose from the dead. He had something he could give to all of us for free. That is salvation. And 2 lovely things happen when we repent of our sins and believe this. Number 1, you become a citizen of the kingdom of heaven. And number 2, you become an adopted child of God, and you have all the rights therein. And one of the cool things, you can now go to God yourself directly in prayer, ask him for anything you need, and according to his will, he will give it to you if you ask in the name of his son, Jesus Christ. All right, guys, until the next time we see you again, God bless you and have a wonderful, wonderful night. So long.